Hi, this is John Williams coming to you from my home office in Henderson, Nevada. I'm so glad that you are tuning into this very, very special Gia Wellness presentation tonight. I've got a special guest with me, and I know that you can see her on the screen now. It's Lynda Cormier Hanser, co-CEO of Gia Wellness, and she is excited to be here tonight. Hey, Lynda, how are you?
I'm good. I'm ready.
You're ready. I know you are. Hey, before we go to Lynda, I want to do a proper introduction. And as many of you know, Lynda was chosen as one of 10 phenomenal global women in the world just recently. And there was an article about her in a magazine that I thought was spectacular. And they did an introduction for her, and I want to read it to you tonight. Lynda, is that okay with you?
Sure, that's
okay.
Fine.
So
I think I'm still getting used to this stuff.
Well, I think it's so great because it really does say who you are. So let me read it to you guys tonight. Here's what it says. Lynda was born and raised in Southern California to a close-knit family that gave her a happy childhood and the positive mindset that she approaches everything in life and business with today. Bilingual in Spanish and English, she still has a close relationship with her mother of 93, who came to the United States from Nicaragua. The love that Lynda experienced in her upbringing has made her a very loving person today, not just with her husband and children, but with everyone that she meets. Today, with her husband, she runs a multiple businesses, including Gia, an international wellness company that has achieved great success. Some of the profits are used to fund an initiative she's very passionate about, which is personal development for teens and young adults. Lynda joined 10 other women in Hollywood in October to speak on stage, launch a co-authored book, and be a part of a documentary for PBS television for 10 phenomenal global women. Lynda, I'm telling you, I get goosebumps just reading that because it's such an incredible honor, and I think we're just so lucky to have you as the leader of our company, our visionary leader. I'm so glad you're with us tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
What I'd like to do tonight is start off with talking about this honor that you just received in October. I know this is really the first time I think that you've had a chance to talk to our consultants and the folks that are tuning in tonight. Can you tell us a story about how that happened?
Yes, and I'll try and do it in a condensed version. In January of this year, I decided that we needed to take a look at the big picture of Gia. And we have our goals and plans, 3-5-year goals, up to 10 years. We have things kind of planned out. But in January of this year, I was like, I want to revisit this. We need to revisit this and see if there's anything that needs to be done, anything that we need to tweak. One of the things that came out of that conversation was that the principles that have been the guiding principles of Gia from the very beginning, the principles that I've taught for the past 25, 30 years maybe, that these principles the world needs to hear. And we're so fortunate because they hear them through Gia. But in that moment, there was a decision that was made that some way, somehow, more of the world needed to hear about these principles that guide us and that guide Gia, all about empowerment. And it's really all about growth, inspiration, and abundance, really. It's what, has been a part of my life forever. And shortly thereafter, we were invited to a documentary reveal of this brilliant man who has been teaching elevated consciousness forever. He's in his 80s and he's considered a modern day genius. And I was fortunate enough to have dinner with him. And as we were talking, it was like speaking the same language. He teaches like quantum physics and very high level, but very much the same of the core principles that I've spent so much of my life teaching. And long story short, he nominated me for one of the 10 phenomenal global women. I met the woman who's in charge of this global community. They had selected 9 women, and she was flying to Dubai to interview the 10th woman. And she said, I don't think I'm going to go. I'm not going to go. You have to be the one. And I was like, no, I think you should go because I don't really know what all this is. And, if you go and interview that person and then come back. And if you still want to, have this conversation. So I did a couple of interviews and I was chosen. And it's just so humbling and so amazing to be a part of a group of women who really are focused on empowering other people and making a difference. Everybody, though they have different backgrounds, there's that common theme. And I will share with you one last thing, is that the gentleman that introduced me, who really kind of nominated me for this, was on a TED Talk, and he's, done a number of, he's written so many books, he's just a genius. And the last TED Talk he did, he closed with a statement that said, in order for our planet and our world to evolve to the next level, we need women to speak their voice. We need women to speak their truth. We need the energy and the compassion combined with the leadership and brilliance that women have, and the world needs that. And here's this 88-year-old man saying, you need to step out of the shadows. You need to speak bigger, to use your bigger, brighter, bolder. And so that's kind of how it all came together. And filming the documentary, we just found out it's going to be an hour. It was supposed to be a half hour, but it's going to be an hour because there's 10 of us. So yeah, it was amazing, just amazing.
So let me understand, I know there was a magazine, the Global Women magazine, that you were featured in on the cover. And
Yes.
then you guys all did a book, part of a book that came out. I guess that book is already out, right?
The book is already out, and they're doing a big launch in the coming month. So it's going to be on Amazon. They're going to send us a version that we can download, like part of it for people to read. But basically, each of us submitted one chapter. So there are 10 chapters, and each woman we each had a certain amount of words that we had to do, and we submitted the chapter.
And then the PBS special will probably be shown in January and then throughout the year. Is that how that's planned?
Yeah, I think it's March. Because they're expanding it and it's going to be an hour, it means we have bigger distribution as well. It was only supposed to be in a limited number of states, but now because it's an hour, it's going to be in, I don't know all the details, but I'll make sure that I let you guys know as soon as we find out exactly when and where and what cities it's going to be rolled out in a lot of the United States.
Well, all I can say is congratulations to you, and really congratulations to Gia, because now I think because of the exposure you're going to get from this phenomenal award, Gia is going to get exposure, and that's going to help all of us to spread the word about Gia Wellness and inspired wellness and growth, inspiration, and abundance. And so that kind of takes me to my next question. There are probably a lot of people tuning in tonight and watching this video who they're just beginning to learn about Gia. Could you spend a few minutes and talk about the story of Gia for us?
Yeah, I love sharing the story, and I'll try and do a quick version. When we, recognizing that we had these distribution rights to these products that literally the whole world needs, we had the guidelines of how we wanted the company to be structured and led, the business principles that I had spent forever teaching about leadership and team and cohesiveness and servant leadership. And so all of the principles were in place, the products were in place, the abundance plan, that was in place, and we just were thinking what we wanted to call this company. And because everything is energy, the products represent energetic enhancement products, our ERT, it like enhances our energy. It negates the negative energy of electromagnetic radiation. So there's another element that kind of offsets the negative energy. The inspiration part, the part that we felt compelled to devote time, energy, and effort to personal growth and development, that's about your personal energy and your joy level and your happiness. And then financially, financial energy is what drives so much of our life and our world. And so everything was energy, but the word energy, clearly we couldn't name the company Energy. That wasn't going to work. And because my brain works in Spanish, as you said in the introduction, I spoke Spanish and English growing up. In my brain, I kept hearing the word energía, energía. Well, when I wrote it out, I realized the last three letters actually spell Gia and create the acronym Growth, Inspiration, and Abundance. So the name of the company comes from the root word energy. And the reason that that's important is because part of what it is that I teach and believe, and so many of our Gia consultants live, is that we have this collective energy that exists, and we must tap into it to feel a sense of community and to bring the best out of ourselves. So for me, it makes me really happy when I think about that the acronym Growth, Inspiration, and Abundance is actually part of the word energy. And so when someone asks about the company, it's all there. It's all in the name. Who we are and what we stand for is literally all in the name, which that doesn't happen all the time. You know, when you're naming a company, it doesn't happen all the time like that.
Well, I love that it's in the name. And it's so easy to tell people about this idea about growth, inspiration, and abundance. And I know that you talk about inspired wellness. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that all comes together?
So the way I think about inspired wellness, and it was really from the very beginning part of the company, if you look at these three elements, so growth and health and well-being, that's kind of the product area. The inspiration is about our personal growth and development, and the inspiration for life to work through us, to expand, and for us to reach our dreams and to be the best people that we can be. And then abundance. Those three categories, I always in my mind have equated them to health, happiness, and prosperity. And so when we live in a world today that the World Health Organization says health is the absence of disease, we're like, wait, what? No. Health and wellness is more than just not having a disease. It's having health, happiness, and prosperity. The overall big picture of wellness is inspired. It's like one level up. It's like living your life in the zone. And I like using that analogy because everyone can kind of relate to that. We've all been in the zone in certain moments of our life. And so the purpose of Gia is to be in the zone in all areas, in your health, in your personal, in your relationships, and financially, so that you can go out and serve the world. What I just kind of strung these words along this year is to serve the world with grace and greatness. And that's what I feel like Gia allows us to do. It empowers us to do that.
It's interesting. I remember when I was first taking a look at joining the company, it was the A that really attracted me, the abundance, the unlimited possibility from an abundance point of view. And now so many years later, I know exactly what you mean. It's growth, inspiration, and abundance, because just having one of those doesn't create inspired wellness. It's all of those together. And I think that's what makes this so much fun to do, so much fun to share with people, because we have so much to offer.
Well, it is fun, and that's part of the purpose, is it should be fun. I mean, if you're going to be working from home, if you're going to be generating an income from home, if you're going to be devoting your time, energy, and effort to anything, it should be fun. And the vision of the company has been from the get-go to empower people in all areas of their life. Inspired wellness is having balance in all areas of your life. And so what happens, like John, you said you were first attracted to the A.
Right.
That was what first attracted you. Well, then you discover, oh, there's more. Oh, there's these products that kind of have helped me feel amazing and look young and feel great. And so I always feel like people, when they get to know Gia, they're getting one facet of a diamond. And the more they learn, the more they look, the more they see, then they're seeing other facets. Sorry, I'm putting this so that it's not falling. I want to make sure that I'm in the right place. So anyways, that's, for me, the most important part is that we are as congruent as possible in sharing the entire diamond. And we know that some people are going to see some facets first, and then they're going to discover other elements.
Yeah, I think that's really, that's just beautiful to me. Okay, so you've had the vision for Gia, and we have worked hard to tell people about it and spread the word about growth, inspiration, and abundance and these incredible products. And now you've had this experience, this global experience, and met people from all over the world and have found that they have similar ideas and similar concepts that you have. So how is that going to impact those of us listening in and watching this today? And what's the future of Gia? Does it seem different to you? Does it seem bigger? Or what are you thinking?
Well, I think the most important thing is, for me, what it feels like is extremely validating. It's like we've spent the last 7 years unwavering in what our vision has been for the company. And to have 7 years later, to have this entity say, hey, by the way, what you're doing is phenomenal. Your guiding principles, this is the new paradigm of business. This is what we want people to share. We want them to empower one another. We want servant leadership. We want collaboration, not competition, in order for this world to be a better place. All the things we've ever brought to Gia, vision, belief, taking personal responsibility for your actions, being grateful for every precious moment, being a part of a team, connecting to humanity. These are the principles that this company has been built on. And so to know, it's like you planted seeds and this garden is growing, and then you have someone come along that's like this world-class garden landscape person say, by the way, your garden is impeccable and we want the rest of the gardens of the world to look like this. It's very validating that our company and what we've used as the ingredients of the company are recognized as a new paradigm, a needed paradigm in business. The industry that we're in, the way that people get compensated, that only if you help people, only if you help them reach their goals do you succeed. That is not the old way of doing business. So every single thing about our company now is like validated what we've always known, but I think that just kind of gives a whole new dynamic.
I know that you have a plan for this next year and beyond about how to share this with people in North America and beyond. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, it's very simple. The plan is very simple. It's continuing to empower people in their lives. The more people that we have as walking, talking examples of health, happiness, and prosperity, of growth, inspiration, and abundance, the more people that are out there living a life that they've created, a life of their dreams, the more people that are doing that, this spreads bigger and faster and like wildfire. So part of the plan is really continuing to empower people. The other part of the plan is getting the message out, is having our leaders share with tremendous, not just enthusiasm, but authenticity, and to be in front of as many people as possible together and with our leaders independently. So to do more traveling and to expand. We are fun, ever expanding, and thriving.
I just had this thought. Years ago, I did an interview like this with you, and I think I asked you something like, what would you say to someone if they said, what's really possible with Gia? And I think your answer was everything. And so I know people might be tuning in for the first time and thinking about what's in it for them. What's in it for them, this concept of growth, inspiration, and abundance. What would you say to them tonight?
I would say, what do you want? What do you want your life to look like? And let's make it happen, because the answers and the solutions are here. So if someone says, what's in it for me? It's like, it depends. What do you want? If you want to look healthier and feel, or look younger and feel healthier, or whatever, if you just want to feel better, if you want to be the best that you can be physically, okay, we got the answer for that. If you want to be happier, if you want to have the relationship of your dreams with whoever, okay, we have the answers to that. Do you want to live your life with every dream come true from a financial aspect? Okay, we have the answers to that. So my answer, while it's the same as it was, anything and everything, it's also, I would pose a question. It depends on what it is that you want, because whatever you want, the answers are here. And I believe they're here in Gia. And my invitation would be to, talk to people, ask people what their experiences have been, find out. It's not just me saying it. It's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lives, and lives of teenagers and young adults, children who have been impacted. So,
well, I think it's more like thousands and thousands and thousands of people, because I know what what your Gia team, the field team has done, and they've really done a great job, but I think it's really only the beginning of our future. And so yes, we've done a good job up to this point, but I see the future brighter than ever. And I think I just love that idea that anything's possible. And you know, I've known you for a long time, and you've always had that attitude, and I think you've been able to really impart that on many of us. So I appreciate you for being with us tonight, and I'm going to encourage those people who might be tuning in for the first time tonight to get back to the person who invited you to be with us, and let them know that you're ready to take the next step to enjoy a life of inspired wellness, of growth, inspiration, and abundance with us. And Lynda, do you want to say anything at the end here?
Well, just I'm getting hot. Like I'm getting hot because I'm so excited thinking about the future. I also want to say I wish I could have been with you guys live. That was the intention, and we realized after the fact just the only reason that I would not be doing this live if it was something really important, and it's actually a charity event that we have been committed to for a long time, and so it's a big thing, and we had to be there at 6:30, and so otherwise I would have loved to have been here live, but I think this is going to be fuel for a few giggles because I know the camera's been moving, and so I think it's par for the course. I leave perfection to God. All I know is that I'm going to give you the best that I have in every moment, and it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be real.
Hey, I was just with a group of people the other day. I said, you know, we don't have to be perfect. We just have to have a blast and share the story. And Lynda, I appreciate you for being with us tonight. It seems like it's live to me. So much. So that's it. Thanks, Lynda. I know we'll be doing this again in the future, and I look forward to talking to you again. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right.